Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? And it's time for another episode of What It's Like to Chill Out with Radovan, Karadzic, Ratko, Mladic, and Goran, Hadzic. Confessions of a Female War Crimes Investigator by me, Miss Jeloise Starr. I'll just pick up where I left off the other day. It must have amazed Darko upon returning from his trip to Serbia that I actually gained entrance to the Privy Closed International Criminal Court preparatory closed meetings, because within a week he invited me to New York City to attend another important meeting at the United Nations comprised of chief diplomats and ambassadors from NATO, some from some very selective and prestigious NATO member states. I don't recall the date, but by his return I fully did understand the definition of what a closed meeting was and wasn't. Upon approaching the meeting door entrance with Darko the day of the NATO meeting, I was cognizant that the meeting clearly stated on its door "closed meeting" and what it meant. I did my best to point this fact out to Darko, who told me to go in with him anyway, and we did. Darko obviously thought because I gained entrance into the ICC preparatory meeting, closed meeting, I ought to not have in his absence. Perhaps if I were with him, he could covertly gain access to this closed meeting as well. No dice. It didn't work. Upon entering the room, immediately some important-looking ambassador called Darko over and diplomatically informed him that, quote, Serbia was not allowed, unquote. Darko pointed to me, explaining that he was with the American lady, but he was asked politely to leave. I followed him out the door, embarrassed. I'll never forget it. I was really embarrassed that day. But we were asked to leave, and we did. I have to say, it was a good try, though. The following year was mundane, filled with activities like such as shuttling back and forth to Fairleigh Dickinson University for grad school before they dismissed me, fundraising for the Law Project Center and co-authoring 2 books with Darko, then the fateful day of 9/11 and those terrorist attacks by Al-Qaeda on the World Trade Center towers in New York City changed my venue forever. Darko told me after 9/11 that the most important thing was to publicize the alleged fact that the head of the ambassador of the Bosnian mission where he was working was, in his estimation, involved with Al-Qaeda as an international arms trader for Osama bin Laden. Darko had a seemingly ton of secret documentary evidence emanating from the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Belgrade and Bosnia, the Republic of Srpska, seeming true, which bolstered his allegations in my eyes then. It was true. He asked me to fervently work with him for the Republic of Srpska to help him finish and edit a book on which topic was meant for exposing this head ambassador of the Bosnian mission at the time for being associated with Al-Qaeda. I said, sure, yeah, of course I edited it for him. He wanted it out immediately because Darko Trifunovic was extremely worried at the time. And this was also before 9/11. We had also, Darko and I, we stayed up all night long at his apartment across from the United Nations, faxing every one of the United Nations missions, including the United States of America mission to the United Nations in New York City, telling them about this fact that there were Al-Qaeda agents and Al-Qaeda arms traders working under false names at the Bosnian mission. Darko was very worried that something bad was going to happen in New York because of Al-Qaeda being there and just working and being in New York City because Al-Qaeda people. And he had some death threats, I had death threats, and his wife Bojana had death threats, and we were very frightened, but we did continue to finish the book, The Bosnian Model of Al-Qaeda Terrorism. I think the Republic of Srpska, because they don't have a lot of money, only printed like 150 or 200 copies. I had bought and sent, paid for the shipping, and I gave 150 copies away. I gave one to Mike Kelly, which I autographed. He's an attorney in Lane, New Jersey, who was very interested in. And I gave the rest of them away or sold them on eBay. But I just want everybody to know that Darko is very serious about, as a anti-terrorist expert, he is an anti-terrorist expert and he takes terrorism very seriously, and he's against Al-Qaeda, and that the things that the Bosniaks had written online about him are not true. And he's good at what he does. Darko asked me to work on editing the book with him. The publication was later published by the Republic of Srpska Information Agency in Bosnia, and it can be also found here on my website. The Serbian government and the Republic of Srpska in Bosnia then was serious pressing Darko for a fast publication, so we stayed up many nights over his apartment in Forest Hills, New York, working to do so. The book was entitled The Bosnian Model of Al-Qaeda Terrorism. Last time I checked, it can be posted on his website also, and I urge everybody to look at it. It has some very names, information, and it's very important. Darko always told me I possessed full rights to this and all his other publications and photos that we worked together on, and I told him the same thing about my work. I think it's unfortunate that I think he's mad at me because I published one of his pictures with this book, but I apologize for that. I thought it was okay because he did give me permission to use any of his items. Anyway, although I edited and co-authored this Al-Qaeda work a few years ago, I noticed that Darko removed my name from the front cover page as the editor. My name was on it when it was originally published by the Republic of Srpska, and it was replaced by another Serbian editor. I don't know if it's a real person or not, but when I questioned Darko about this, he told me, and I do believe him, that he kept my name off of it because my life was in danger and of death threats and dangers to my life that could have emanated or I could encounter because of its publication. I do vividly remember Darko receiving a great many death threats and threats towards his wife's life at this time, Bojana, so it is possible that he was telling me the truth. Even prior completing our work on the Al-Qaeda book together, Darko became obsessed with manifesting the Bosnian chief ambassador at the Bosnian mission at that time as a terrorist. At that time, I had no reason to doubt Darko's word and assisted him in rapidly writing an open letter to all the United Nations member state missions exposing the chief ambassador as an Al-Qaeda agent. I surmise this is why Darko's job became jeopardized at the United Nations as first secretary of the Bosnian mission and why he was dismissed. Although it was questioned whether Darko lied about his place of birth as the Bosniak state online, there was a court case in Bosnia recently, and it was in the news, and Darko did win that he did not lie, and I just wanted everyone to know that he is not a liar. Okay, I'll stop here for today, and I hope you all got something out of this reading. I'll continue when I can. Thank you.